Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Host Fred Arnold on the Southern California Business Spotlight. I am joined by Rhona Jukes. Rhona Jukes is a mortgage professional with American Family Funding, a staple in the Santa Clarita Valley when it comes to mortgage information, and also very involved in the community. I'm very proud that you've been with our firm for so long. So welcome back. Welcome to the show. Want to talk about buying a house.
Yes.
You want to buy a house, you're excited, you're fired up. How do you do it?
Well, you know, when you start thinking about buying a home, there's a couple of things that you want to start thinking about. Take a look at your credit. Annualcreditreport.com provides you one free credit report a year. Pull your credit, see what your balances are, see if you want your FICO score. They will charge you extra, but you know what, it's well worth it. Then you know where you're at. Take a look on how maybe you can improve. Maybe there's things on your credit report that you weren't even aware of. So that's a good start.
So let's I'm going to wrap that together.
Okay.
Because one of the things you do is when you apply for a loan or a pre-approval with Rhona Jukes at American Family Funding, you can help give them that advice and analysis on how to improve their credit score and the things they can do to improve their opportunity to get a better rate.
Absolutely. Again, my goal is to fund loans, right, and to get people into homes and help people with refinancing of their current mortgages. But I feel like I'm also an educator. So if there's some blemishes or bridges that need to be crossed to improve the credit score, I help guide them. It could be the smallest of things of just paying down this one credit card below 30% of your credit line, or making an inquiry as to, you know, why this went to collection. So, you know, and having collection loans is not a bad thing. It's something that could be addressed. But one of the things is never dispute account when you're trying to apply for a home mortgage, because that could hold up the process and delay the closing.
And that's the information you're going to give the consumer when they come in.
Absolutely, because that's all done when you get pre-approved.
Yep, and so let's talk about that pre-approval, because I know fair lending is important to you. Getting people into home is important, and it starts with your paperwork.
Yeah. Understand that we must show the ability to repay the obligation. And the way that we have to do that is by verifying your income and your assets.
Making sure you can afford it.
Exactly, because I never want to put anyone in a compromising position. Number one, it's your payment every month. You have to be comfortable. But more importantly, we have guidelines we have to follow to make sure you have the ability to repay. And we do that by asking for a lot of documentation sometimes. So
and it can be overwhelming at first, but you can walk them through each step. And most of it's what their tax in one envelope with their tax professional anyways.
Exactly. So it's 2 years of tax returns and 2 months of bank statements. And yes, we need to see all pages. And yes, even though it's blank, because it's called for as part of your statement. So start preparing those documents, start pulling them out, because these are what the lender is going to ask you for to get you that pre-approval. And
I know that Rhona does. You bring it in to American Family Funding, and you sit down with Rhona. She's going to make the photocopies for you. She'll get it scanned in there for you. She'll make it, just grab your file cabinet, bring it in. But typically, it's only specific items we need to get you pre-approved. It feels, in some cases, overwhelming, but in reality, when Rhona walks you through it, it's not.
No, it could be a very simple process if when working with a lender, they get the information up front. Now, will they run into needing additional documentation? Absolutely. But that's why it's important when you're speaking with the lender that they do what I call an interview process. Find out what your wants and needs are. Are you self-employed? Are you a W-2 employee? So that it helps me when requesting the documentation to be more specific as to what the needs are.
Love it, love it. We have 2 minutes. Let's talk about the pre-approval process. Getting pre-qualified is easy. Call Rhona, runs your credit, you tell her income. That's simple. But getting pre-approved is a step further that ensures you're going to get that loan.
Yes, and so a pre-approval process is I have the information, I've verified your income, I've seen your bank statement, I've run your credit, I've run it through the underwriting system. I can, at that point, if all the numbers work out, I get an approval, I can issue you a pre-approval letter. But I like to go one step further. And I like to send it through to our underwriter and get the borrower a credit approval.
Completely approved.
And the difference between that is then you can go out and shop with confidence. Your realtor that you're working with can go out and have a little bit more negotiating power because you've now been credit approved by an underwriter, not just pre-approved.
Love it, love it. 30 seconds or less, the importance of a realtor.
Oh, you know, the internet is a wonderful source of information, but no one on the internet is going to look out for you like your realtor will. Your realtor will know by talking to you what type of home you're looking for, how many bedrooms, the specifics. Use the internet as a resource, but it is imperative and very important that you have someone representing you in that transaction, and that's your realtor.
Call Rhona. She'll give you a recommendation of some realtors in the area that will hold up to her standards.
Thank you.
Those want to reach you.
661-505-4335. Email me at rhona@affloans.com. Don't be afraid to reach out to me over the weekend.
Excellent. Thank you, Rhona.
Okay, thank you.
Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Southern California Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Fred Arnold on KHTS.